Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Applied Digital, ticker symbol APLD. And so the last time I covered this stock was on December 10th. So following the trading day on December 8th, which was a Friday, you can see this big green candle here. It went up, let's see, about over 16%, almost 17% on that day. And during that video, I had suggested that price could rise up to $7.25 or higher. And that is exactly what happened over the course of the past month or so. But today, on earnings day, January 16th, we saw a pretty big drop off, a drop of over 26% on the day. Let's see, opening at a price of $6.25 after the close yesterday, Friday, January 12th. The close was $7.49. So a pretty big drop there as a result of the earnings report that was released on the morning of January 16th. And so what do I see regarding the price? So I do see that there is a gap fill, pretty small gap, but to the downside, which would be to $5.27. I also see $4.86 having been the open on, May 16th, before this big move up, having served as support over here, which was tested again, broken through briefly here. And so I do think that we will be returning to that level. Also possible that we could be returning to $3.50, the low here on the day, actually $3.52 on the day of November 13th. And it does look like there are some gaps to the downside below that as well. But one thing that I do think is going to be useful to keep in mind is just thinking about retracements as far as where price has been and where price may go. So I just want to throw up two Fibonacci retracements, one going from the high on June 23rd, which was $11.62, and bringing that down to the low that was on this day, let's see, November 13th, which is right around, $3.52, as I had just mentioned. And the interesting thing to see about this retracement is that the 618 was at a price of $8.54. And zooming in on this, we do have three closes or three wicks above that hit that level. So I do think that was a significant one to be paying attention to, because that was the opportunity to sell right before this big drop off that we've seen. And then so now that we have determined that this was the low and the high was up here, we can do another Fibonacci retracement to get a look at where price may be going to. So retracement from the bottom there to the top here. These are just approximate, not doing it pinpoint precision to the tops and bottoms of these wicks. But if we do look at that second one, I'm actually going to gray out this earlier one. And so looking at this new retracement, we can see that the 618 is just below current price, and that would be going to a price of $5.46. However, with this gap just below it, I do think we'll at least get a wick or a tail from a candle coming down to fill the gap at $5.27. But more realistically, what we might see is a return to the 786 retracement. That would be at a price of right around $4.60. So quite possible that could happen before there is some consolidation and it moves higher. And also, I do want to throw up the volume profile, which does seem to suggest that there has been, some consolidation over here reflected in the volume profile. So we may start to see some support when we do return to levels below $5.46, possibly to fill this gap at $5.27. And, that support will be maintained more or less down to around $4.68 or possibly to $4.60 and a retracement to the 786. So I do feel like it is good to brace for further downside, to not be chasing or trying to catch a falling knife, which we saw on this day, January 16th, with a drop of more than 26% on the day. I do expect the downside to continue, but hopefully we don't see any more 26% moves. Hopefully it starts to taper off and we start to see a bottom around any of these levels, ranging from $5.46 down to $4.60, which is where I think we will find a bottom before continuing to the upside. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching, and take care.